Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Real Madrid Hub. I'm your host, Dr. Jota, and obviously I'm here to talk a little bit more regarding to that the elimination from Champions. Of course, it's not the best moment to talk about it. Of course, it's a very tough moment for all those Madridistas all around the world. This is a pretty obvious, very bad and sad situation, because the last thing you want to do when your team is eliminated is to talk about that, right? So yesterday I tried to analyze a little bit the game right after it happened. It was like 10 minutes, right after that. I tried to get into the details. I tried to be, to keep my cool and try to, analyze a little bit the game from a tactical perspective or something like that. So I would like to extend a little bit more my statement, my take on that game. I'm gonna try to analyze a little bit in deep and give it a deep dive on the future, on the foreseeable future of Real Madrid. I mean, what is going to happen, what is next, what is our, the next step, the next project, what are we going to do now, and pretty much the challenges that we have ahead now that we got eliminated from the Champions. So let me get into the details. Let me get started talking a little bit more about the game yesterday. Of course, it was a very bad game. It was a very poor performance of Real Madrid, and it was kind of disappointing because everybody was expecting a very different Real Madrid, right? What we were expecting was something like, okay, Real Madrid has to score, we have to win the game, we have to score first. So right from the beginning, we have to go through, push up, and try to score as quick as possible. But what we saw, it was completely different. It was something completely, annoying. It was something completely, unexpected. Was something like, it was like, man, what are these guys doing right now? Real Madrid was all the time. The Real Madrid players were all the time like, passing the ball sideways, not moving it up, not pressing high, not, I was expecting to be more vertical, more sharp, or more straightforward to the goal of Chelsea, trying to score as quick as possible. But what we saw, it was a very, a Real Madrid very passive, very slow, very, like no ideas, like don't even know what to do. What I say, passing the ball sideways, take the ball, pass the ball, take the ball, pass the ball, but no danger at all. They didn't create any chance, except the two headeds from Benzema. But other than that, we were all the time playing in our side. So I'm okay if you try to control the ball, if you try to dominate the game, if you try to keep the possession. I'm okay with that, as long as that possession means something in the rival area. Means danger or risk or speed or something like that. But what we saw yesterday was a team who was all the time moving the ball around, but not even knowing what to do with that. No ideas, no plan. Chelsea players were like, okay, let's wait, let's hold back, and let's wait for a moment. And once we can get rid of the pressure of Real Madrid, which to me was not even pressure, we are going to start off doing our job, doing our game, doing our plays, and let's try to create chances. And that is what happened basically. When in the first 25 minutes, when Real Madrid realized that we couldn't go through, that was the moment when Chelsea realized at the same time that they could go through, push up, and create chances, And that was the moment when they realized that they could win the game and they could actually qualify for the final. So they were kind of gaining confidence as the time was going by, and then they realized that they were a much better team than Real Madrid, right? And in the second half was blatantly worse because Chelsea could even score like 5 goals, 4 to 5 goals, and they were creating chances all the time, while Real Madrid was like, calming down, slowing down, fading away. It was like, man, what are you guys doing? You have to win the eliminatory. You have to score first. So that way, it's gotta be impossible to go through. And I don't know what happened to Real Madrid players, but they didn't have the attitude, they didn't have the authority, they didn't have the charisma, the character to win, the winning mentality. Nothing of that. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, Chelsea players were super determined to win. They were super focused on the game. They were super focused on the victory, and they got it, man. They got it. Now they are in the final. So, congratulations to Chelsea players because they did play very much well better than Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? So, that is my point regarding to the game. I mean, there's no more. I mean, there's obviously more tactical analysis that we can do, but it's not something I'm really interested in, because if you think about it like a Real Madrid fan, I don't need to see what happened yesterday in detail. I know enough to know that we didn't deserve the win yesterday at all, at any moment, right? So that is regarding to the game. And now, what is going to happen? What is next? What is going to happen with the future, with the foreseeable future? What is the next challenge? All the challenges that we have to face off. What is going to happen next? Okay. What we have to decide right now is, okay, where do we want to do? And where do we want to be? Where is the idea? What is the plan? What is Real Madrid expecting from these players and from this coach? Okay, so what I saw yesterday, it was a team, Chelsea was a team with a project, with very young players, with very ambitious players. And on the other hand, what I saw from Real Madrid, it was like a team that used to be legendary, with a lot of super big names and expertise guys, with a lot of experience, but not without the energy that we really need, without ambition, without ideas, and just trying to ground everything and rely everything on the expertise. That's it. That is what I saw. So in my opinion, what we have to ask ourselves as a Madridistas is, okay, what do we want? Or what do we want to do? Where do we want to be in the near future? Do we want a project? Do we want expertise? Do we want youngsters? What is exactly what we need to happen right now? You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, I do consider that Zinedine Zidane is the right coach for Real Madrid right now, but it's definitely something that we need to happen to sign new players. And of course, to bring up a lot of players from the second team, from Real Madrid Castilla, especially for the midfield. We cannot keep playing, we cannot keep, exhausting to the same players all the time, like Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, Casemiro, and rely everything upon their shoulders. You know what I'm saying? So we cannot rely anymore on them, but not because they don't really deserve that trust. The problem is they can't. They can hold everything on their shoulders. They cannot take everything on their backs. You know what I'm saying? So we do really need different players, younger players for the midfield, even if they don't have the expertise enough. I'm okay with that. We have to take the risk. We have to give an opportunity to the new players, to the young players. Exactly like Chelsea, like what Chelsea was doing, or is doing actually. You know what I'm saying? So that is the biggest challenge for Real Madrid right now, to give an opportunity to a different project, to a younger project, or new signings, or whatever, man. But we need something new and fresh, right? And Zinedine Zidane is the right person. I mean, of course, I agree with that, but he definitely needs something else. And of course, let's move on, because I would like to speak a little bit about, my opinion about Eden Hazard. Okay, so to me, this guy is done. I mean, his career in Real Madrid is completely over, in my opinion. This guy has had 2 years to show something to Real Madrid, but he didn't. I mean, he failed completely. Sometimes it was his fault, other times it was not his fault, but he definitely has a lot of responsibility in the failure of Real Madrid, or at least in his failure in Real Madrid, in his Real Madrid career. You know what I'm saying? You cannot blame anybody else for your faults, right? So in my opinion, the first thing Real Madrid has to do is to get rid of this guy, because I do think that this guy is not the best influence for any other player, especially when you are surrounded of a lot of younger players like Antonio Blanco, Miguel Gutierrez, Sergio Rivas. They cannot see the kind of guy that goes to the training ground, to the practice every day, and he doesn't give everything he got. I mean, the best example for the youngsters is the kind of player who, even in the practice, who is giving everything he got inside. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. That's all. So if you keep this guy in the team, man, after 2 years doing nothing and making a lot of money, and then, what we saw, laughing his ass off, man, with former teammates or whatever, there's no excuse for that. It's unacceptable, completely unacceptable. So in my opinion, Real Madrid has to remodel almost completely to the team, almost completely to the squad, and then figure what we need to happen, what is exactly what we need, and then figure it out and go ahead and get it. You know what I'm saying? Especially project, ideas, plan, future, near future, players, signings, the veterans, the older players, all the stuff, all the people. Those are the challenges we have to face off for now. Okay, so now let me know your thoughts about that. Just comment in the section below, and of course subscribe.